And in that mining pool, you collectively organize all of the hash power, computing power together, and then you split the rewards of that. So it's like a co-op, if you will. Now, as I kind of said earlier in the show, there are platforms that allow me to do self-hosted mining where I can go with a company that will actually run the server for me because I live in California. Electricity is way too expensive. I would not be profitable to mine for Bitcoin, but I can co-locate in a facility where power is much cheaper. And then it goes into a pool and I can still make a good amount of money. As I said, right now it's somewhere $50,000, $60,000 to mine a Bitcoin. I can still compete. I can still earn Bitcoin. So two-part, yes, 100%. It's a lucky lottery ticket. I'm surprised these people, they probably mine for years, maybe never make one, one reward subsidy. And some people win the car in Vegas. However,
Yeah.
most people can still compete. You can still buy the computer. You can still do it.
Yeah, it can be a really expensive hobby or what you do by yourself, or you can just join a mining pool. I used to mine. That's how I got introduced into Bitcoin back in like 2016. And I was part, I think it was called Ant Pool or something. And
Yeah.
it was a fun little time, but all dreams come to an end eventually. But it was fun. All right, we're going to go to our next story here. So hang tight there, Mark. We're going to bring you right back here in a second. I just got to get to it. All right. So our next story here, an investor, lost 783 Bitcoin worth $91.4 million to a scammer impersonating a hardware wallet. The attacker tricked the victim into handing over wallet credentials on August 19th. Once inside, they transferred the Bitcoin and routed it through Wasabi Wallet, the privacy tool often used to conceal transaction trails. Blockchain investigator Zach XBT confirmed the theft. He called it one of the largest individual social engineering scams in recent months. It adds to an already brutal year. In the first half of 2025, investors lost $3.1 billion to hacks and fraud, and increasingly scams are shifting from technical exploits to social engineering, tricking people instead of systems. This attack happened exactly 1 year after the $243 million Genesis creditor hack. That hack led to arrests in California earlier this year. Now, both incidents highlight that the attackers aren't always beating code, they're beating people. Authorities are sounding the alarms as well. North Wales police warned crypto holders after another victim was defrauded of 2.1 million euro in Bitcoin. And in this case, criminals impersonated senior police officers, claimed a phone with the victim's ID had been seized, and pressured them into handing over the BTC. The force called it sophisticated and urged vigilance. This is the ongoing risk here. Even as technical safeguards improve, scams thrive on human error. Impersonation and phishing remain nearly impossible to prevent completely. Meanwhile, Bitcoin itself remains immune. It settles exactly as designed. Final, irreversible, uncaring, which is what makes it valuable, but also merciless when the human side of it fails. Bringing Mark back. Mark, an investor just lost 783 BTC to a fake support scam. Is this the perfect example of Bitcoin is secure, but people aren't? What do you think?
It is a perfect example of that. And unfortunately, a lot of people confuse that with the Bitcoin network not being secure. But it's not the Bitcoin network, it's the people, unfortunately. In most cases, it's human error. And unfortunately, this is extremely sad. And while we can sit here and talk lighthearted about it, unfortunately, this is just terrible news. And typically, I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of times it's maybe the older generation, the boomers that fall for this. But I have friends, I know people personally that have also fallen for these types of things. And unfortunately, with AI getting so sophisticated, this is only getting more and more prevalent. And so it's terrible news. And so people need to be extremely vigilant. I mean, number one, don't click on any links. If somebody calls you or emails you, don't click on a link. Just go into your account and just check and see if there's any messages. Like, number one, I mean, come on. If somebody calls you pretending to be someone, whoever from your exchange or whatever, asking for your password, like, don't give it to them. You can just log into your exchange and see if there's a note there. Same with an email. You get an email, don't click on a link. We see this with all types of phishing schemes. Recently, there's one just this week going around that I've seen people warning about, which is for Celsius. So a lot of people had money on Celsius, the exchange, lending platform, et cetera, that went down through bankruptcy. They've been giving some of that money back, and they've been sending out these phishing emails saying, hey, there's another distribution, click here to receive it, and then it's draining people's wallets. And so it's extremely sad. It's extremely prevalent. It's only going to get worse. So don't click on links. Don't give people over the phone your passwords. If you get a message like that, just go log into your account and check it out on your own. But it's not the end of this.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And they are getting so darn sophisticated, and AI
Yeah.
certainly isn't helping with that. I actually had an experience earlier this year where I got a alleged call from Coinbase, and the day before I received a text being like, you had unusual activity. Then I
Right.
didn't click on that link. Then I get a call,
Yep.
and they knew a surprising amount about me. I talked to the guy for a half hour, and then he's trying to get me to click on a link that he sent, and I was like,
Yep.
nah, buddy, like, there's no way. And that was
Yep.
definitely a scam. So be careful.
Yeah,
out there,
and
boys
people need to
girls.
be aware of this because recently there was a major hack at Coinbase. And so when they hacked Coinbase, they
Yeah.
got all the user data. So probably that's why they had so much information. And unfortunately, they have maybe potential home address information on people. So they're going to have a lot of that information. But, most of us have probably gone through something like this. Like when I call my bank, for example, they want to verify. So they'll have me log into my account to like verify something. But they have me log into my account. They don't send me a link to click on, right? So we have to kind of just be aware of these things. I also, man, it's a pain in the ass. I hate that every time I go to a new website, I have to 2FA, I have to pull up my phone, I have to verify this. It's such a pain in the ass, but that's how we secure things. And unfortunately, with the rise of these sophisticated scams, with the rise of AI, it's only going to make it worse. Now, the reason why I hate this, but maybe the silver lining in this is it shows how susceptible to hacks. It shows how fragile centralized databases are. All databases have been hacked. Even the NSA was hacked. And when they hacked the NSA, they stole the NSA's hacking software. I mean, we see this so prevalent today, and it shows why something like Bitcoin is so powerful. A decentralized database, a decentralized network that's open source. It's open. It's transparent. It's permissionless. Anybody can join. And yet we have over $2 trillion sitting in the open for hackers to come and get, and it's never been hacked. And so while we continue to see how fragile these centralized databases are, we continue to start to see the importance of what these decentralized databases are. And the world will shift. We'll get there eventually. But unfortunately, we have to kind of see the pain of the problem. And the pain has to be enough to get us to be able to shift and move to something else.